Hello everyone, this is my van. I've not done this before. This is a van tour for people who live in vans, and it's in response to the fact that I posted asking about some ideas for like redesigning the interior of this van, and loads of people came up with lots of suggestions and also asked me lots of questions. So this is where I live. It is a bit of a weird question, isn't it? That, like, do you live in a van? And I think vans that go under a certain size, you live out of them more than in them, in that you're not showering in them. This size you can cook in, but I often end up eating out more than I did when I had a bigger van. I've been in different sizes of vans before. This is the Goldilocks version. I had a car, a three-door car, that I converted so that I could sleep in it, and I ended up staying in that so much that I ended up with a massive great big roof rack and a massive roof box on it that was almost longer than the car. And then I got a Mercedes Sprinter and I moved into that whilst I was working and in February, and it was an empty shell, so I was building from the inside as I went along. I did that for about a year and a half, and I was learning to build at the same time, and I ended up stripping out the first interior and then having another go with proper materials and with someone who's a carpenter by profession helping me. And I finished that, and within 2 weeks the vehicle had to be scrapped. It was unrepairable. This van is pretty much as it came. I've got a sort of nesting instinct which makes me want to build an interior from scratch, but actually I've already done that, and I persuaded myself that this one is actually pretty good as it is. One day I might rip it out and change it. I've been waiting for about 3 years for the bed to break because it's only 6mm ply, but it hasn't broken, so I haven't replaced it. So here is the grand tour. Now you can see where I just was sitting. I've just got this. It's a music stand that I can put my laptop on, and it folds away and goes behind the driver's seat, so that's pretty cool. This is the bed, which doesn't fold or fold back in, but I'm currently using the space under it anyway. And let me just take the desk away. This is how it came. It had these 3 cupboards with it. The problem with a small van is not storage, it's accessible storage. I've been trying to run out this great big gas bottle for about 2 years so that I can get a smaller one. That is all my kitchen stuff, that's all I need, and in there is my water, but I think I can get even more water now. I've cleared out this cupboard as much as I can. My aim is to have this entire cupboard also be for the kitchen, but at the minute it's only the bottom one that's for the kitchen and the top one is for my clothes. And then I've just got a secret cubby hole here full of odds and ends, and that's important. That's like a junk drawer. You've got to have junk drawers. This is my main life bag, which sometimes lives on the bed. It kind of doesn't really have a place because I'm always taking it out and using it in houses, or I'm always opening it and closing it, so it stays there. And then here's some of the new stuff. I finally sorted out this area here. The big problem with it was that I couldn't get to the stuff that was behind there very easily because it would all drop down really low. So I've now got 2 bags on top that I can open whilst they're in situ. That's going to make a massive difference. I've also put what I call my central heating out here, which is basically all of the warm fit clothes and jumpers that I only ever wear in the van, apart from obviously the hat. I wear that all the time, everywhere. Here's the view from the back, which you've probably seen. A lot of the stuff that's under here is for work, like my gig kit and stuff like that, and I don't need to access that from the front really, so that's alright. It's improved a lot lately, especially since I got those seat covers, because I really hated what was underneath them. This is the place that my friends like to decorate. It's important to have decorations when your home isn't a house, and they're just a few little trinkets that make this feel like home. My biggest accomplishment of the day is that bag under the bed, that one right there, that is empty. So that means I've got an empty space I can put things in when they randomly turn up, which they do. And finally, I've decided to make the van a shoes-free zone. So I've just taped this £5 camping mat down to it so that I can kneel better and use this as a proper space. So there you have it. A lot of it you can't really see, the changes I've made in the past month or so. They're about making sure that the things that I need are actually accessible for me to get to, and the things that I don't need are somewhere else. Well, I pretty much need everything. It wouldn't be here if I didn't need it, but I don't need it all the time. I just need it sometimes. I don't have certain things like a sink and a fridge, and at the minute they seem like they would be more hassle than they're worth. If I could get my stuff down further, I might consider a fold-out bed. When I had a Mercedes Sprinter, I had so much more stuff than this, and I thought that I'd downsized. I think I can downsize further. Maybe, maybe not. As to a heating system, it's a really tricky one because they either take up a lot of space or they're expensive or both. And the question is whether that sacrifice is worth it. And sometimes I really come down on the side of yes and sometimes no. I haven't worked it out yet, but for this winter I've got enough house sitting, fortunately, so I haven't had to address it in the end, even though I thought about it a lot. So there you go, that's the whole thing, all apart from I didn't mention my power, which is just 3 12-volt sockets over here and a leisure battery in the bottom cupboard. But if you've any other suggestions on what you think I could do with this van and this space, then that's great. Thanks for watching.